lesson 2. So in lesson 2, we are going to be talking about the science of caloric deficit. There's going to be a lot of calculations, but don't worry. There are simple ways, but I just want you to know the background. So what is a caloric deficit? It's simple. You eat less calories than you need to expend. Because anytime you have any activity, even when you don't have any activity, but your body has activity, your heart is pumping, your blood is flowing, you need calories to do all these things. So even the person who is just there and doing nothing still burns calories because your body is working, things are going on, your brain is working, your heart is pumping, your blood is flowing, all the nerves are working, sending messages, all those burn calories, even at rest. But then when you move around, when you go around, you walk, you exercise, whatever you do, you also burn calories. Now, if you eat less calories than you burn, that is a caloric deficit. That will make you lose weight. So, concept of consuming fewer calories than you burn. So, how do you calculate your caloric needs? Using the basal metabolic rate, that's the BMR, plus activity multiplier. So, I'll show you how to calculate that. So if after you calculate how much deficit you want, because you want to eat less than you need, but the safe amount is from 500 to 750 calories a day. That means if you need 1,000 calories, let's say you did the calculation and what you need is 2,000 calories to maintain your weight. Let's say your weight is 100 pounds. And after probably you do the calculation and it tells you, oh, to maintain 200 pounds, you need to eat 1,000 calories a day. Let's say that was the calculation. Now, but you want to go down. So what do? You subtract 500, you start with something like 500, subtract 500 from 2,000. That will mean that if you eat calories of only 1,500, which is 1,500, you will lose weight because that is a caloric deficit. The body will have to take from the calories in your fats to burn to be able to maintain that need. That's what we mean by the deficit. Now, some say all calories are equal. No, they're not equal because there's some calories that actually get flushed out. They never really, when you eat some foods, never really turn to fats. Their calories quite all right. They also help in digestion, and a lot of it is passed out. So, but that is lesson 2. Now, in lesson 3, okay, before we go to lesson 3, I want to show you a worksheet because this is what I want you to do for your homework for this lesson. There's an app you can use to calculate how many calories you need. And after you calculate how many calories you need, you can now subtract 500 calories from it so that you know how much you want to eat a day. However, if you want to know how to calculate it, how did the app or how did the website find out? This is what you do. Step 1, you calculate your basal metabolic rate. And that's the BMR. Your BMR represents the number of calories your body needs to maintain its current weight without any additional activity. That means if you are just at rest doing nothing, what is the basal metabolic rate? How many calories does your body need? So since this program is for women, we'll go for the women one. Now it is 10 times weight in kg, that's kilogram. For those of you who don't know your weight in kg, if your weight is in pounds, just divide whatever weight you are in pounds by 2.2. So if it's, let's say it's 200, let's use the calculator. So if your weight is 200 pounds divided by 2.2, that is 90.9 kg or 90.91 kg. That's how to calculate grams, kg. So that will be 10 times weight in kg plus 6.25 times height in centimeters minus 5 times age in years minus 161. But don't worry, I know some people don't like calculation. We'll show you an app that you can use. So after you know your basal metabolic rate, then how do you determine the total daily energy expenditure? How much energy do you use? Because we are going to multiply your basal metabolic rate by your total daily energy expenditure. But people who do little to no exercise are going to multiply that BMR times 1.2. Those who do light exercise, you are likely active, maybe you do light exercise 1 to 3 days a week, you multiply your BMR by 1.375. Moderately active, BMR times 1.55. Very active, those who are extremely active, multiply your BMR by 1.725. And those who are super active will multiply their BMR by 1.9. I have a feeling that the people I'm going to be working with will either be the first or the second one, who are going to be times 1.2 or times 1.375. As you begin to exercise a little bit more, you might move to moderately active. But I don't want anyone to rush into overdoing it. Start little by little. We're going to start by light exercises, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So your total daily energy expenditure gives you the estimated number of calories you need to maintain your current weight based on your activity level. So now, as I told you, you don't have to go through all that calculation. If you go to this website here, it's a Mayo Clinic website. So all you have to do is you put it in here. You say your age, your height in feet or inches. If you want to change it to the metric, like centimeters, you click on this and we change. I think it's waiting for me to put in numbers 4. So let's say you put in my computer is slow, but you can change it to metric units if you want, so that if you don't know your pounds or if you don't know the just see, it still has it's still trying to calculate. But let's keep on going. And that's how you calculate it, but I don't want us to spend too much time on that. So we'll come back and look at that later. So in lesson 3, we are going to be talking about building your ideal meal plan. It's slow, but we'll get back to it later. So as I said, you can change it to the metric forms, and